Something terrible happened in this house last weekend. I'm still not sure what. I'm still not sure if it was real. But I'm going to try to explain it, because I think someone needs to know, before the next person moves in, before the real estate agent takes new photos and the smell of her perfume fades completely and someone else sleeps in my mother's bed. My mother died 3 weeks ago. Heart attack. Sudden. She was 72. She lived in this house alone for 11 years after my father passed. I'm 41. I live in the city, 4 hours away. I came back to settle the estate, clean out the closets, decide what to keep and what to throw away, and what to leave behind because I can't bear to look at it. That's what I told myself I was doing: cleaning, sorting, closing. I haven't slept properly since the funeral. The first night I stayed here, I couldn't find the light switch in the hallway. The same hallway I walked every day for 18 years. My hand went to the wrong place, 4 inches off, like the house had moved while I was gone. I told myself it was exhaustion. Grief does strange things to your spatial memory. I read that somewhere. I found the switch. The light came on. Everything was normal. The second night, I noticed the photograph, the one on the shelf in the living room. A family photo from my 10th birthday. My father, my mother, me, my brother. Everyone smiling. Everyone still alive. It was face down. I picked it up. The frame was fine. The glass wasn't broken. Nothing else on the shelf had been moved. Just that photo. Turned over. Carefully. Like someone didn't want to see the faces anymore. I stood there for a while, holding it, looking at my mother's face. I put it back, face up, went to bed. The third night, I was in the kitchen, making tea. The same kettle she used every morning. The same mug with the crack in the handle that she refused to throw away. And I heard it. The rocking chair. In the corner of the living room. The one she sat in every evening. The one she was sitting in when she had the heart attack. It was moving. Slow. Gentle. Like someone was sitting in it. Like someone had just stood up and left it rocking. No windows were open. No doors. No wind. I walked into the living room. The chair stopped. I stood there, staring at it. I told myself it was the floor settling. Old house, old floors. The chair has a loose rocker. She never fixed it. I used to tell her to fix it. She said she liked the sound. I went back to the kitchen, made my tea. Didn't look at the chair again. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay in my old bedroom, the one I had as a teenager, staring at the ceiling. The same crack in the plaster. The same water stains shaped like a rabbit. The same window that used to stick in the summer. And I smelled it. Her perfume. Not faint. Not like a memory. Fresh. Like someone had just walked through the room. Like she had just leaned over to kiss my forehead and left a trace of herself behind. I sat up. The room was empty. The door was closed. The window was closed. But the smell was there. Stronger now. Surrounding me. I started crying. I didn't mean to. I missed her. I missed her so much. I got out of bed, walked to her room. The door was open. I never leave her door open. I closed it the day she died. I haven't opened it since. The real estate agent has a key. She was supposed to come next week to start the walkthrough. The door was open. I pushed it. It swung inward. The room was dark. I reached for the light switch. My hand found it immediately. Not like the hallway. This switch I remembered. This room I knew. The light came on. The bed was made. Fresh sheets, pillows fluffed, the blanket folded at the foot, the way she always folded it. No one has been in this room in 3 weeks. I locked it myself. I walked to the closet, opened the door. Her clothes were still there. All of them. The blue sweater I hated as a child. The green dress she wore to my wedding. The robe she wore every morning when she made coffee. The robe was warm. Not room temperature warm. Body heat warm. Like someone had taken it off moments ago. I closed the closet, left the room, turned off the light, closed the door. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the kitchen, drank cold tea, watched the rocking chair. It didn't move again. The next morning I called my brother, told him I was struggling, that the house felt wrong, that I kept smelling her perfume. He said I was grieving, that it was normal, that I should see a therapist. He was right, probably. But he didn't see the rocking chair. He didn't feel the warmth of her robe. He didn't hear what I heard last night. I heard her voice. From her bedroom, through the closed door. My little girl. That's what she called me. Not my name, not sweetheart. My little girl. I haven't heard those words in 3 weeks. I haven't heard her voice in 3 weeks. I pressed my ear to the door. Silence. Then a knock. From inside the room. Not on the door. On the wall. The wall that separates her bedroom from mine. 3 knocks. Slow. Deliberate. I opened the door. The room was empty. The bed was still made. The closet was still closed. But the window was open. The window faces the backyard, the yard where I used to play, where she used to hang laundry, where my father built a swing that's still there, rotting, waiting for grandchildren who never came. The screen was pushed out, lying on the grass below. Someone had climbed out of that window, recently. I walked to the window, looked down. The grass was wet. Fresh footprints, bare feet, leading away from the house, toward the tree line. I stood there for a long time, staring at those footprints. Then I saw something else, on the windowsill, inside the room. A shoe. Small, pink, scuffed at the toe, with a little butterfly on the side. My shoe, from when I was 7 years old. I haven't seen that shoe in 34 years. I don't know where it's been. I don't know how it got here. But I know one thing. The footprints in the grass were my size, adult size. But the shoe on the windowsill was mine, from when I was a child. Something climbed out of my mother's window last night. Something that wears adult feet and carries childhood shoes. Something that knows how to fold a blanket the way she folded it. Something that knows how to warm a robe without wearing it. Something that knows her voice well enough to call me my little girl. I went outside, followed the footprints to the tree line. They stopped at the base of an old oak, the one where I used to hide when I didn't want to do my homework. Taped to the trunk was a photograph. A picture of my mother, young, before I was born, standing in front of this house, smiling, and standing next to her, A little girl, 7 years old, dark hair, pink shoes. The little girl was me. But I wasn't born yet when that photo was taken. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how to explain any of this. Maybe my brother is right. Maybe I'm grieving. Maybe grief does strange things to time and memory and the way you see the world. But I know what I saw. The rocking chair, the open window, the footprints, the shoe, the photograph, and I know what I heard. Last night, I was falling asleep in my old bedroom. The door was closed, the window was closed, the lights were off. And I heard her voice again. Not from her room, from mine. From the corner, near the closet, where I used to be afraid of the dark when I was little. "I'm here," the voice said. "I'm here with you." I didn't open my eyes. I didn't move. I just lay there, listening. The voice didn't speak again, but I felt something. On the edge of the bed, the mattress shifted, like someone sat down. The pillow beside me was warm. I still haven't opened my eyes. I'm recording this from my childhood bed. It's 3 a.m. The room is dark. The house is quiet. The pillow beside me is still warm. I don't know if it's her. I don't know if it's grief. I don't know if it's something else entirely. But I know one thing. When I was 7 years old, I used to have nightmares. Every night. The same one. A woman standing at the foot of my bed, watching me. I would scream for my mother. She would come. She would sit on the edge of my bed. She would hold my hand until I fell back asleep. One night, I woke up from the nightmare. The woman was still there, at the foot of my bed. But my mother was sitting next to me, holding my hand, and she was looking at the woman, not afraid, calm. "It's okay," she whispered. "She's not here for you." I didn't understand what she meant. I was 7. I forgot about it the next morning. But I remember now. I remember everything now. The woman at the foot of my bed, the one from my nightmares. She had dark hair, pink shoes. She looked just like me. My mother knew. My whole life she knew, and she never told me. She just sat on the edge of my bed every night, held my hand, told me it was okay. The pillow beside me is still warm. I'm going to open my eyes now. I don't know what I'll see. I don't know if it's her. I don't know if it's grief. I don't know if it's the little girl in the photograph, the one who was born before I was born, the one who never stopped watching. But my mother isn't here anymore. Someone has to sit with her now. I'm here. I'm here with you. There's a device on my home network called guest_7734. It's been connected for 47 days. I noticed it 3 weeks ago. I was checking my router logs, something I do now, something I've started doing because of the job, and there it was. MAC address I didn't recognize, data usage pattern I couldn't explain, uploads mostly. Consistent. Every night between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. I work as a content moderator, have been for 18 months. I watch things so you don't have to. Violence, gore, abuse, the worst stuff the internet can produce. 8 hours a day, 400 hours last month alone. You'd think that would make me jumpy, paranoid. It does the opposite, actually. After you've seen a man get his head removed with a shovel, a strange device on your Wi-Fi doesn't register the way it should. I told myself it was a neighbor's phone. Guess networks auto-connect sometimes. Happens all the time. I deal with it later. Then I checked my browser history. Someone searched for my floor plan, the exact layout of my apartment, then my full name, then my work schedule, then the brand of my smart lock, all from my laptop, all while I was asleep. I stared at the screen for a while. My first thought wasn't fear. My first thought was, that's interesting. That's what this job does to you. You stop having normal emotional responses. A stranger in your browser history becomes a data point, an anomaly to be investigated, not a threat to be escaped. I cleared the history, changed my passwords, ran a virus scan. Nothing. The next morning, the searches were back. Different this time. More specific. How to disable a Nest camera without triggering the alert. Average response time for local police on a weeknight. Can smart locks be opened from the inside without a key? Okay, that got my attention. I called my friend Mark. He works in cybersecurity. I told him about the device, the searches, the timing. Long silence on his end. Have you checked your crawl space? He asked. What? The access panel in your hallway closet. The one for the plumbing. Have you checked it recently? I hadn't. I moved into this apartment 14 months ago. I'd never even opened that panel. Why would I check that? Another long silence. Just check it, he said. Call me back. I hung up, walked to the hallway closet, moved the vacuum cleaner, the boxes of old photos, the winter coats I never wear. The access panel was small, maybe 2 feet by 2 feet, screwed shut. I'd never noticed the screws before. I got a screwdriver, took them out, opened the panel. There was a camera inside. Pointed up, through the floor, into my apartment. Waterproof case, battery pack, memory card. I pulled it out. My hands were steady. That's the other thing this job does. Your hands stop shaking. You learn to hold the camera steady even when you want to throw up. I checked the memory card. 47 days of footage. My living room, my kitchen, the hallway to my bedroom. Time-stamped. Organized by date. I sat on the floor of the closet, started scrolling through the footage on my laptop. 2:17 a.m. Day 1. The camera activates. My living room is dark. Nothing moves for 3 hours. 2:23 a.m. Day 3. A figure walks through my kitchen. Male, average height, carrying something I couldn't identify. I watched him walk from my front door to my bedroom. The footage didn't show my bedroom. The camera couldn't see that far, but it showed him going in and coming out. 47 minutes later, I scrolled faster. Day 7, day 12, day 20. Every night the same figure, same route. Front door to bedroom, bedroom to front door. Sometimes he stayed for an hour, sometimes 4 hours. Sometimes he brought things in, sometimes he took things out. I checked the dates against my own calendar. Every single night he was there. I was home, asleep, or so I thought. I called Mark back. You found it, he said. Not a question. You knew. I've been tracking something at your address for 6 months. Unknown signals. Irregular traffic. I didn't want to tell you until I was sure. Sure of what? The device on your network isn't just a camera. It's a controller. Someone has been using it to access your smart home system. The locks, the lights, the thermostat. Everything. I stood up, walked to my front door, checked the lock. It was unlocked. I always lock it. Always. 3 times. I have a routine. Lock, check, lock again. The lock was open. Mark, I said. He's in here. Right now. Isn't he? Long silence. Don't go to the bedroom, Mark said. Get out of the apartment. Now. I didn't move. Now, he said again. I walked to the front door. Turned the handle. The lock engaged. By itself. The little motor whirred. The bolt slid into place. I tried the deadbolt. Same thing. Motor. Whir. Locked. He's locked me in, I said. I know. Can you override it? The system isn't responding. He's got full control. He's had it for weeks. I turned around. The living room was dark. The kitchen was dark. The hallway to my bedroom was dark. And I felt something. Pressure in my chest. Not fear. Not yet. Something physical. Like someone was standing very close to me, pressing against my sternum from the inside. The sound frequency rule. I'd read about it in a case file once. A stalker who used infrasound to disorient his victims. Frequency too low to hear, too low to record, but the body feels it. Pressure, nausea, the sense that something is wrong. He was broadcasting from inside my apartment. I heard a sound from the bedroom. Not footsteps, not breathing. A drawer opening. My nightstand drawer, where I keep my phone charger, my book, my grandmother's ring. The pressure in my chest got worse. I leaned against the wall, slid down to the floor. Mark, I whispered. I can't breathe. I'm calling the police. Stay on the line. The line went dead. I sat there in the dark. The pressure in my chest was unbearable now, like someone was sitting on me, like something was pushing into my lungs. And then I heard a voice from the bedroom. Quiet, calm, male. Your camera roll is beautiful, the voice said. You have a good eye. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My throat was closed. My hands were shaking. Finally, after all these months, my hands were shaking. You've been watching me too, the voice said. Through your work, all those videos, all those hours, you've seen thousands of men like me. Footsteps. Coming closer. Down the hallway. You just never knew I was watching back. The pressure stopped. Suddenly. Completely. I could breathe again. I stood up, ran to the front door. The lock disengaged as I reached for it. The bolt slid open. The handle turned. I didn't question it. I just ran. I made it to the stairwell. Down 4 flights, out the lobby door, into the street. The police arrived 7 minutes later. They searched my apartment, found nothing. No camera in the crawl space. I'd taken it with me. No unknown device on the network. It had disconnected the moment I left. No sign of anyone. They took a report. Told me to change my locks. Told me to get a security camera. Told me to call if anything else happened. I went to a hotel that night. Didn't sleep. The next morning, I went back to my apartment. Everything was normal. Locks worked, lights worked, no pressure in my chest. I checked the crawl space. Empty. No camera, no battery pack, no memory card. I checked my browser history. New searches from 4:17 a.m. While I was in the stairwell, while I was running. Does content moderation cause long-term PTSD? Can you track someone through their work computer? How to delete a camera's cloud backup before the police find it? I opened my work email. There was a message in my drafts. Unsent. Time-stamped 4:17 a.m. It was addressed to my supervisor. Subject line, resignation, effective immediately. The body of the email was one sentence. I've seen enough. I didn't write that. I wasn't even in the building at 4:17 a.m. I was running down the stairwell of my apartment, barefoot, in my pajamas. But someone was on my work computer. Someone who knew my passwords. Someone who knew my supervisor's name. Someone who knew exactly what to say to make it look like me. I've been staying at a friend's house for 2 weeks now. I haven't gone back to my apartment. I haven't gone back to work. I checked my router logs this morning. There's a new device on the network. Guest_7734. Connected for 0 days. But the location says something different. The IP address traces to a building I've never been to. A building on the other side of the city. I looked it up on Google Maps. It's a data center. One of the ones my company uses to store its content moderation footage. He's not in my apartment anymore. He's in my work. He's in the videos. The ones I watched. The ones I tagged. The ones I tried to forget. He's been there the whole time. Watching me watch him. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to explain it to the police. I don't know how to explain it to myself. But I know one thing. I haven't watched a single video since that night. I can't. Every time I open my laptop, I feel the pressure in my chest, the frequency, the presence, and I hear his voice. You've seen thousands of men like me. He's right. I have. I just never knew any of them could see me back. Until now.